What makes an artist go from great to amazing? And when you have imagination and creativity, when can you stop it? When does it start? Can you turn it off? Can you turn it on? Well, better yet is talk to a professional. And that's who I have here on Geeks Are Sexy. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Michelle Roxy Davis. If you'd like more information about Geeks Are Sexy, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. If you'd like help with your social media, then find me at thesocialmediamd.com. Geeks Are Sexy is brought to you by Gene Woods Racing Experience, the fastest go-karts in Las Vegas. Check them out, Monday Mayhem, every Monday at 7 p.m. Entry fee is $40, and the three fastest racers, they split the purse. So win the cash every Monday at Gene Woods Racing Experience. So here on Geeks Are Sexy, I have Michael Goddard, who is a professional artist. Hi, welcome. And a very good friend. I've had him on Geeks Are Sexy. Actually, one of my very first recordings, you were a guest.
Yes.
Right when I was transitioning.
Lots of fun.
Oh my gosh.
Lots of fun.
I went from radio to TV and I was so nervous, and you were such a trooper. And I was just so flattered to have you on as a guest. But I want to talk more about your paintings and your imagination and your creativity.
Sure.
But first off, what is this tattoo right here I keep hearing about?
That's Ozzy.
Ozzy,
yeah. That's my Oz. So I was always a big fan of Ozzy when I was growing up because, well, lots of reasons. One is I love the music and it kind of helped me through a tough time in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And also because, he became this, big star, rose from the ashes, very, very poor, picked on, whatever, and then still managed to stay very, very humble. So,
right.
Yeah, so, and I told him that, I thought that he should get a tattoo of me on his shoulder. He doesn't have room. I think his exact words were something like, so something like that. And, or I don't know, Sharon wasn't there to interpret, but something like that.
We got to give a big shout out to Lori Lee Sampson.
Oh, yes, we do. We love Lori Lee.
She told me all about the Aussie thing and the article here. You can read all about it, and it was just amazing, and I just love her, and she's going to be back next month with Michael Boychuk, and I'm so excited. But we're talking about your amazingness here.
Uh-oh.
Now, when you started doodling and you took your creativity and you started painting and doing all your designs, you wanted to put humor into it.
I did want to put humor into it. I just didn't want to. My favorite painter was a guy named, is a guy named Donald Roller Wilson,
Mm-hmm.
and I had seen some of his work, and it was so completely photorealistic. It was amazing to me. It blew my mind. And I watched his work progress, and he started out doing things like still lifes or whatever, and I thought, this is the most amazing art I've ever seen. But he later decided that he would paint dogs and cats and monkeys cross-dressing. And I thought, if he can be funny and he is the greatest artist ever, then I should be able to do the same thing. So he has a painting that he did of this cat cross-dressing with a cigarette hanging out of her mouth called Naughty Judy. And I was so inspired. I have Naughty Judy right there. She's on my...
Oh, my gosh.
There's Naughty Judy right there with her cigarette.
The fabulous Las Vegas.
Well, this says, welcome back to fabulous Las Vegas. Because when I was here as a kid, I went to Clark High School. We were on food stamps and on welfare. And now I've come back to Vegas as a pimp.
Look at
you. So, there you go. In my mind, anyways. But... yeah, so I think a lot about being an artist, making that transition from something that I think entrepreneurial spirit or what have you has to do with wanting to take risks and to go into new directions, and you have to have some kind of a vision. Then you got to take action, and so it was a lot of hard work and a lot of sacrifices to do that.
And you're a philanthropist as well. I remember meeting you at the St. Jude's Celebrity Poker Tournament and walking up to you. I'm like, "Hi, nice to meet you. Would you be a guest on my show?" Yeah, and then better yet, here you are. Yeah, that was. So your creativity, can you ever shut it off? Does it ever stop?
No, it never stops. It never ever stops. And I think it's like a muscle, like anything else.
Right.
That the more you use it, the more you're open to it. I mean, a lot of people talk about, well, I believe in, the very spiritual things, and I believe we're all sort of woven together by this invisible fabric, and just being a good person, putting out good energy and all that. And there's also a very spiritual part of that. But I think you have to be open to that to be able to do something with it. Mm-hmm. So you have to have the idea. And I think the more you exercise that, the better you get at. So when I look at a
love
blank
that.
canvas, I don't get, writer's block or painter's block. I can, picture something usually within a day or two and have an idea, and then I just go for it. I take the risk and say, I don't care what it turns out like. I'm just going to have fun. Then you enjoy the process. But
have you ever gotten stuck on a painting?
I've gotten stuck on a painting, but it wasn't really my fault. I used to do a lot of portraits.
Well, I see what had happened was, what happened was, it was a crazy night.
It was a crazy night. And, people, when they see themselves in a portrait, don't see themselves as they really are. They're used to seeing themselves and looking in the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
So right now your hair's parted on the way I see it, this side. If you're looking in the mirror, you're seeing the opposite. And our faces aren't symmetrical either, at least, mine's not. But most people's aren't symmetrical. So when they see themselves, it's like hearing your own voice on a tape recorder. It sounds a little odd. So I would, paint people, and about 1 out of every 10 portraits, they would just go, oh, that doesn't look anything like me. Can you make me skinnier? Can you make me skinnier? Next thing you know, I had a painting of a skeleton with super long eyelashes, gigantic lips. Oh, now that looks like me. And got frustrating. So I just said, if I just turn people into fruit, we're good. So now I've turned, let's see, the latest one was Michael Jordan. I turned him into an olive. And then I did the late Carroll Shelby and Hugh Hefner and Chris Angel and lots more that are set to go. So
and I'm sure with the inauguration just in, I'm sure you're going to be doing Trump's painting pretty soon.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So as an entrepreneur, you do your work, and a lot of people, they find it hard to work, the whole rat race and everything, but you find it so pleasurable with what you do, then it's not work.
And that's so very true.
You just continue with life as it proceeds.
And it sounds very tongue-in-cheek, but, if you enjoy something, it doesn't seem like work. And sometimes you have to, if you want to follow your dream, you have to have other things that sort of supplement, that will finance that dream that you want. I mean, if you want to be an artist or if you want to have a talk show, whatever, everything costs money. So you have to have some other way to supplement it, and you really have to hustle a lot. And and that was so a lot of the time when I was as an artist, I was living in my car and no one knew about it. They still don't. Well, now they do. It's out. I lived in my car for a while, but I was selling my paintings.
Hey.
but
now you
yeah.
travel the world. And
now I get to travel everywhere. It's a lot
see
of fun.
all the things in life that I'm sure a lot of people would never be able to see.
Yeah.
And
it's a blessing for sure.
But if you had any word of advice for any starving artists out there or surviving artists that are getting by, what would you say to them kind of to take it to the next level?
Take it to the next level. Well, two things I tell them, because the first thing that happens when people, artists or whatever, come up to me and they're looking for some mentorship, I say, do you have any business cards? They say, oh, business card? No. That's the first thing you should do. Yeah, what's that?
I don't know what that is.
So they have to, if you want to be, looked at or respected as a professional, you need to present yourself professionally. So I think that's really important. Second thing I think is, and probably the most important, is when you look at something long term, you have to be willing not only to do the work or whatever that goes into it, but you also have to stay true to yourself. And the friends that I have that are musicians, writers or
Laura Lee
actors
Sampson.
or whatever, Laura Lee Sampson, of course.
Yeah.
But they always say, you have to write about things that you love and stay
Right.
true to yourself.
Right.
If Lori was to write an article and hand it over to an editor, they're going to go chop, 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 and all of a sudden it's not Lori anymore, and the
Right.
spirit's gone.
So you
and
gotta
it's
stay yourself.
It's like this instead of like this, which is Lori.
Babbles and
So
bubbles.
right So I think the same thing, So when I've talked to musicians, they said the first thing they want to do is they want to get signed,
Right.
and they take the first deal they can.
I was going to talk about that. You're from the Inland Empire. You've been
Yeah.
around a lot of rock stars.
Yeah.
Musicians have come up, and
Few.
I remember it was like, isn't that the empire for Del Taco and all the fast food joints that came up too? I got to say, I love it. I'm not going to deny Del Taco every now and again,
No,
but
I love.
I
Del Taco.
definitely, I love your story.
Thanks.
And it's very humbling to see a philanthropist and an entrepreneur or someone who
Yeah.
loves what they do and the creativity that you have so much generosity to give to Las Vegas and the world and to everybody out there. Don't be afraid to step into a Michael Gart art gallery. You never know what you might find. They even
Or
have.
what you might get turned into.
They might have. That's true. That's true. So anyways, find you on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and if anyone's interested, we're all going to be at Herbs and Rye partying from a birthday party tonight,
there,
7
be
to 9,
there.
know what I'm
Woo,
saying?
woo, woo.
Geeks theme, yeah. Big shout out to Lori Lee Sampson again. I just love her.
Yeah,
And
I do too.
yeah.
Yeah, doesn't
So,
get any better than her.
I know.
She knows everybody. I think she knows more people than Trump does. I don't
Seriously,
know. More
she
than
is
I
just,
know.
whew.
Yeah, yeah. All my friends, if I had a birthday party, all
She's
be
hot.
Rena friends.
Hot.
Yeah.
Ow. Ow.
She has
So,
the real
anyways,
deal.
everybody, well, if you're going to be geeking, you might as well make it sexy, and that's right here on Geeks Are Sexy every Friday, 4 to 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on WCOBM.com. Hope you guys have enjoyed yourself. Have a safe weekend, and I'll see you again next week.
Deacon and freaking tonight.